Cameras ready, prepare to flash. Cameras ready, prepare to flash. Cameras ready, prepare to flash. Flash. Cameras ready, prepare to 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 flash. Flash. Cameras ready, prepare to flash. Cameras ready, prepare to flash. Cameras ready, prepare to flash.
In Nepal, we grow up with a culture that is about love, compassion, and action. This philosophy is something very profound in remote areas. It's about balance between human and nature. I'm Rinjin Phunjok Lama. Every day I work with the local communities in the remote Nepal so that we can protect unique mountain environments. The pressure on wildlife is increasing more than before. Definitely there's an impact of climate change in terms of rainfall and snowfall. Human encroachment into the habitat, the illegal hunting, these are constantly putting pressure on the wildlife and the habitat. No leopard, female or young juvenile, 38, 50 meter. We aim to document what we have in terms of biodiversity. It can be plants, animals, birds. This helps us identify the priority areas with a goal to protect what we have and to restore the declining populations. The working season is very short and we have to cover a vast landscape. My area, Humla, is almost 6,000 square kilometers and I'm the first environmental graduate. So by default, I'm becoming the first conservationist. Humla covers the largest non-protected landscape in Nepal and offers habitat for some of the most threatened species in the world. In the remote mountains, livelihood has always been the priority. For example, livestock husbandry being one of the primary source of livelihood. When you have a livestock get killed by some carnivores like snow leopard or wolf or jackal, people suffer huge loss. They kill the culprit animal. There has to be balance between wildlife conservation and the community needs. The first thing is we need trust that we are doing something good for local communities. They have to be empowered to take part in the process. I share similar culture, same religion. This is something that really helps. Rolex Award is that component that helps me with a long-term vision. We have a plan to support the communities with livelihood diversification and also build predator-proof corral and light deterrent devices. If you want to bring change, you have to start from yourself first. But at a large scale, alone I cannot do anything. We are doing a school eco clubs. We will mentor them. We will try to produce a student who is interested to pursue their careers in the field of environment conservation. In life, one should have a passion and the feeling of adventure. I really want to follow my passions, and that is what my work offers me every day.
As an explorer, I've spent most of my life documenting the wonders of nature. Adventure is part of my daily routine. I think about documenting beautiful landscapes, listening to the water, the wind, the birds, and connecting with the nature that's around me. I love my job. Adrenaline is always present from the moment you leave your house, pack your key in the car, and start your trip to the final destination. Your senses are focused on one objective. Pushing yourself further and enjoying every stop along the way. My name is Federico Pardo, and right now we're crossing the eastern part of the Andes Mountains towards the Orinoco region. On this adventure, we will try to document one of the biggest primates of the Americas. Come with me, let's see if we can find it. I'm curious of what lies ahead of us, and I'm not always sure what to expect, but that's what makes the whole trip worthwhile. The body has a memory of its own, and when you push it to go further and further, it's hard to let go. It feels like an obsession. I'm very humbled that this is my routine, and it makes me want to enjoy every single second of it. Whether it's the endless hikes through rugged landscapes, to spending hours and hours looking for the perfect image perched among the treetops. This is what I live for, and this is what keeps me alive. I'm constantly seeking to push my limits and be amazed by nature's secrets. And that's the great thing about adventures. Anyone can pick their own. It all depends on how willing you are to get out of your comfort zone.
My name is Marco Pecorari and I'm the director of the MA in Fashion Studies. The student had this amazing opportunity to work in the archive of Versace, where different souls of the brand Versace are living, not only Gianni Versace but also Donatella Versace. Initially we started with the idea of an exhibition which was held in 1986 by the Palais Galliera. It was the dialogue between the work of Gianni Versace and the work of Donatella Versace, who at the time was not only working with Gianni, of course, on fashion design, but she was already in charge and responsible for the image production of the brand.
So our brief was to create a dialogue and a conversation between two couples of garments, one that was designed by Gianni and one that was designed by Donatella. And so we were asked to really connect these garments, see what was different, what was the same, what we could draw from one to inspire the other and vice versa. Our two pieces, one is a drapes piece, like this pink one, and then another one is a metal mesh piece, so like this. And so we found with these two garments that they really personified and gave a lot of power to the wearer. And so what we wanted to do was take historical figures, and we created stories around those two ambassadors, if you will, for Versace, wearing the garments and what that garment means for that character.
If I were able to talk to Gianni now and ask him questions now, it would be a long conversation for sure. I would have a lot of questions for him. But I really would like to talk to him about his inspiration coming from mythology and how his affinity for mythology and history and the idea of Medusa, how he kind of sees that represented in a contemporary woman. I think it would be really important to kind of get to talk to him now about how his ideas of femininity and power and strength have evolved and how they were really informed by Medusa.
So my time in Milan was interesting. It was really cool. We got to see the Versace headquarters. We got to see how things were made, especially the metal mesh, which is so insane. Gianni picked this because of this or this because of this, and so you really got to know him as a person and see the brand through the lens of the home and where it was, which I think really added something to the project.
What amazed me the most about the experience and the work that our student did is their capacity to relate from a contemporary perspective to a work that was produced 40 years ago. I think it's groundbreaking, and I really hope that our student understood the privilege they had through this project.
And I think in the final analysis, it depends upon what we do here.
September 26, 1960. Millions of Americans tune in to watch presidential candidates debate on television for the first time. Squaring off in Chicago, Massachusetts Senator John F. Kennedy, the Democratic candidate.
I think we're going to have to do a better job if we are going to meet the responsibilities which time and events have placed upon us.
And the Republican candidate, Vice President Richard Nixon.
Because we are in a deadly competition, a competition not only with the men in the Kremlin, but the men in Peking.
Viewers give Kennedy, tan, fit, rested, the edge over an exhausted Nixon, whose poor makeup job fails to ease his 5 o'clock shadow. Kennedy narrowly wins in November, a sign of TV's growing influence on politics. 1980. Cuba's government abruptly closes Mariel Harbor, ending a massive wave of refugees to the United States 5 months after it began. Known as the Freedom Flotilla, the refugees traveled in small boats from Fidel Castro's Cuba to Florida, overwhelming U.S. authorities. 1898. Composer George Gershwin, whose iconic tunes include Rhapsody in Blue and I've Got Rhythm, is born in Brooklyn, New York. 1888. T.S. Eliot, regarded as one of the great poets of the 20th century with his work The Wasteland, is born in St. Louis. Eliot won renewed fame when composer Andrew Lloyd Webber used the poet's words as the basis for his hit musical, Cats. 1981. Serena Williams, a star player in women's tennis just like her older sister Venus, is born in Saginaw, Michigan. And 1957. In New York, the musical West Side Story, a Romeo and Juliet tale with a Big Apple background, opens on Broadway. Today in History, September 26th. Tim McGuire, The Associated Press.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,